Hey guys, Trey here, top 8 at our tournament today. He's going to show us his Gladiator Beast deck. What do you got, Trey?
Alrighty, so we'll start with the Gladiator Beast monsters. One Bestiari, because obviously, one Murmillo. You have 2 Equest. You play 1 Radiari, some people play 2, but I think 1's enough. Play 2 Laquari. This is just your big beat stick. I think 2's the right number. 2 Darius, also the right number. I've seen people cut on like Darius and Equest, but I think you should play 2 and 2s. I'm also not on the Icarus attack stuff, so I think this is the right way to do that. Also, don't play the Hopless stuff. I think that stuff is bad. Sorry, Kiwi. Alright, then we're on Sam Knight, because we are on the Test Tiger package, as well as Rescue Cat. You should play this stuff because it's good. These are good cards, so play good cards. Moving on from there to Prisma. They help you get to Bestiari. Also, Prisma Test Tiger is a 2-card Geysaris, which is really powerful. Play good cards. Morphing Jar just sacks games, so play good cards. Moving on to the spells. 1 Heavy Storm, 1 MST, 1 Proving Ground. Proving Ground is nice because you can go get Bestiari. Like you can search it after you have a Glad Beast on field, set it, go into tag into Geysaris under like Torrential and that type of stuff. It's a good card. I had thought about playing 2 of that instead of Morphing Jar, but because Morphing Jar did get sided out a lot today. I played against a lot of zombies, a lot of Vayu Turbo, that type of stuff. Morphing Jar's not so good there, but the games where Morphing Jar is good, it just wins the game, so I think it's still justified. 3 Shrink, 3 Book of Moon. This is sort of the important part of the deck list. I think Shrink is really strong in the sense that it can dodge bottomless. You can also use it proactively if you have Test Tiger plus any other Glad Beast plus Shrink. You can Test Tiger, go into Sam Knight, and then you can shrink your opponent's monster in order to force Sam Knight's effect to go search Chariot. And I think that's really important. Book of Moon does kind of the same thing if your opponent has something that has lower defense. I try to play these cards because they also let you play really ignorantly. Like you can just attack with your Glad Beast and not care about depressing because you can just book them in.
Book them back, yeah.
So yeah, these are good cards. You should play them.
Cool.
Traps. I got 2 Starlight Road. Not completely convinced on the numbers here, whether this should be side, main, whatever.
Yeah.
It worked okay today. I actually resolved 2 of them in one game.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, so he Heavy Stormed, and I Starlight Roaded to summon Stardust. Then he goes Miracle Fusion, goes into Absolute Zero. I bottomless the Absolute Zero. Absolute Zero triggers, and because now I have Stardust and another set monster, I'm able to Starlight Road the Absolute Zero effect. That was awesome.
Go. That's awesome.
2 bottomless. Play 2 Chariot in the main. It's a good card. It's not good against everything. The 3rd copy's in the side. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that.
You're so unfair sometimes.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, being able to hit a Caius.
Especially when you get it back with a quest. Yeah.
So, one of my games today, it was against Quick Draw Dandy. He went too quickly and went Quick Draw, pitch Titanial. And Quick Draw doesn't discard for cost in Edison, it's for effect. So, I could have Charioted, but since I knew that he wasn't pitching Dandy, I'm like, sure. And then he tributed it for Caius, and then I just Charioted the Caius, and it was brutal.
There you go.
It was like, okay, well, that's gonna happen sometimes. Yeah, play slower, I guess. 1 Compulse. I played 1 Compulse in the main and 1 in the side. It's good against some decks, synchro decks in particular, but not every deck synchros. Not every deck goes into fusions, so Compulse was good. Trapstun, same theory. Really what you want to do is have a large diversity of things that you can activate at any time, which is why I don't play a ton of 3-ofs.
And you can bolster in the side deck.
Yeah. So then in the side deck, you can bring in like, okay, if Trapstuns are really good in the matchup, like pure Black Wings, right? Like you want to make sure you're negating Icarus attack and stuff, and you're going first. You want to side that in. So Judgment, Torrential, Mirror Force, these are good cards. play them in every deck. So that's the main 40. Moving on to the, should I do side or extra? Extra doesn't matter.
English side.
Okay. Double Dust Tornado. Might want to bump it up to 3, but I thought 2 was okay. Especially because you play the third trap stone, so it kind of acts,
Makes sense.
yeah, in a similar vein. Dust Tornado is better against like Bayou Turbo stuff because they have like oppression and
You gotta get that off the board.
yeah, and so if you trap stun and they have like any way to stop your GB tagging after that, like D-Prison or Book or whatever, then it's like, oh, well, now oppression is back online, and it's like, well, yeah, that's yeah, less good. All right, lightly played Dust Shoot. Found that in a bulk bin for 20 cents, so that was awesome.
Great find.
3D
Check your
Crow.
local game stores.
Yeah, absolutely. 3D Crow. I've seen people try to argue to tell me play 2. This deck isn't very good into the Norlaris boom stuff, so you want to make sure that you have a response to that. Also, DD Crow is just so universally good against so many different decks that I think playing less than 3 is silly. So that's just my opinion. I think it's a good card. 2 side draw.
You're the one who made top 8, buddy. Own it.
Yeah. 2 side draw. Because it's side draw. Did have a game where the opponent left Catastor on field and I had Sidra in hand. He didn't take the Sidra, or he set 2, and he activated Dust Shoot. Did not take the Sidra, and I'm like, okay, this seems pretty good. So I go, hey, I was gonna go for the Sidra, except then after that he deck devies me, and I'm like, well, okay. Except all my hand was Sidra and Equest and Laquari, so it worked out. I think the only thing that deck Devi hit was a DD Crow that I drew later, so it was like, nice. Anyway, 1 War Chariot, as I mentioned, double knock. I want this card to be so much better than it is, because it's so good against Raikou if you're able to resolve it, but like if your opponent didn't draw Raikou, then these feel really bad. I had that happen against a couple of Lightsworn things. I still think knock is correct, but yeah. There's a 1 Compulse, as I mentioned, and then last one is Smashing Ground.
Yep.
Oddly enough, you don't have a really convincing out to just Titanial plus Dandy tokens or Thought Roller by itself.
Right.
Because
if
you don't
target.
yeah. So yeah, the Smashing Ground sort of fills that spot. I've had people argue for me to play less than 2, play 1, but I think it's just sort of a generally good going second as well.
Yeah.
So onto the extra, which doesn't matter. Thought Roller, Goyo, Black Rose, Catastor. You can't make any of these. So yeah, Heraclinos. Yeah, he's a good card to play 3 of them. Double Chimera Tech. I think it's maybe optimal to play 3 in case your opponent like leaves their Sidra on the field and another machine, just because you can theoretically make that 3rd one. Because I'm playing 3 Stardust, but
better than cards that you can't make.
yeah, well, yeah. So, but I also only own 2 copies, and that never came. I didn't even summon 1 today, so like, it's just not going to come up.
Much optimization there.
Yeah, and then obviously 3 Geyseros, because
That's the man.
that's the man. Okay, that's the deck profile.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. Great job today, and we hope to see you next time.
Absolutely.
Cool.